Hello and welcome to the Slip Slip Sis YouTube channel. My name is Che and I am half of your Slip Slip Sis duo, and I am coming to you with another combo video for today. With our schedules for the spring, it has just been a whole thing and a half for Gabs and I to try and podcast. So I am doing a special video where I will be going on the Los Angeles County Yarn Crawl today. Get excited. And I will also be sharing some updates on my knitting because I am flying up to the Bay Area this weekend for a work trip. And so you may be thinking, well, Che, that would be great because then you and Gabs can do your podcast there. Yes. However, I have a ton of stuff that I have acquired that I am working on, and I don't want to fly up with all of those things just to make more things in the suitcase that I have to carry up and back. And so I decided to share some updates on my knitting here, and then Gabs and I probably will do maybe I think we have a mystery unboxing or a mystery sock kit unboxing thing that we were doing. Maybe we'll do a little bit of a vlog. So bear with us as we get through our spring, but I wanted to update you on some of my knitting that I have finished, and it today, in case you're wondering, is Thursday, April 20th. It is like 7 o'clock in the morning, so I'm getting all of my laundry done, all of my chores done, because the yarn stores don't open up until about 10 in the morning. And so if I can get all of those things done, I can hit the road by about 8:30 to get to the first store. Gotta love Los Angeles traffic. And I'm planning to do 4 stores today. I am only able to crawl today because I do have today off. The crawl does go through the rest of the weekend, and they're all over Los Angeles County. I am here in the South Bay of Los Angeles, so I'll be going up to kind of the ones that are just along the 405 freeway, which is the main freeway down here in Los Angeles for us. So that's my plan. I'm excited that I even get to crawl a little bit because I didn't think I was going to be able to. So this is going to be such a treat. But let's get into the finished objects that I have finished since probably, I don't even know the last time we podcasted, but it's been a couple weeks for sure. It feels like I haven't finished a lot of things, and I will get to why in a little bit. But to start us off, if you've been following us for a while, you know Gabrielle and I are doing a sock swap for the year. So we have gathered yarn for the other sister and traded that, and then we are knitting the same sock pattern with that yarn, and we are doing all crazy sock lady patterns this year. And so this month of April was Timeless Arrows is the pattern. It's this super fun texture. Isn't that amazing? It's one of those patterns where when you see it come to life, you feel so impressed with yourself. So let me pull it off the sock blocker so you can kind of see the middle of the pattern. So we were racing, of course, because that's who we are, on these, whoops. And I was having trouble memorizing it because it's kind of a long stitch repeat. And so I did a much shorter leg than I typically would, twisted rib there. And then the yarn is, we don't know the colorway name, but it is Bumblebee Acres. So Gabs got this a while ago. I think she got it from a D-stash as well, but it's super cute, super light, very springy. So I'm a huge fan of these, and also I'm looking forward, since it's almost the end of the month, where we get to do our May sock swap, and we're almost at halfway through the year of our matching sock pattern. So that's a ton of fun. Another pair of socks that I finished are, I'm calling these my Saul Goodman socks, and you'll know why in a moment, because these are some socks that I knit out of the Saul Goodman colorway from Breaking Yarn. So sorry, let me put these on the blockers. Maybe I should invest in another pair of sock blockers. But I love how these came out. These are so fun. They remind me of Light Brights a little bit. But the main color is Saul Goodman, and which is a colorway again from Breaking Yarn. And then I used Tickled Pink as the contrast from Kimber's Cozy Creations. This is a colorway that she dyed, that Kimber dyed after my sister and I. The pink represents me, and then there is a purple, that very violet, that represents my sister. So I had some extra of that, so I thought it went together super well. So I'm very pleased with these that I have gotten to add. And I haven't done vanilla socks, well, I've done vanilla socks. I haven't done fingering weight vanilla socks in a while because I've been on a big DK kit. So it was kind of nice to get through all of these with fingering weight yarn. So maybe that's what I'll cast on next. And so one of the things I have been working on, and so we're transitioning over to the whips now, that I've been trying to get through because I want to finish these before I leave for the trip so that I can add these into or add the extras into one of my other projects, and then any other extra that I have from this I will give to my sister. So I want to be able to bring that up with me so I don't have to mail it to her. So these are DK socks, and they had been sitting in this bag for a while. You can kind of see it's a Christmas bag, as I had plans to bring these up for winter break, and I just didn't get to them, which is totally fine. I was going to do a textured sock with them, but then I was like, man, I don't really feel like it. So I decided to hold the yarn double and do DK socks with it. So, oh, that's the progress. So I have finished one of the socks of my DK weight socks here. I love this. I think this is so pretty. It's perfect. It's like that soft pink. It's coming off a little bit more tan, I think, in the camera than it is in real life. But this is yarn from Porter Wool Company. So you can see I'm attached. I'm almost there. So I think I might be able to finish these today because I did finish all of the gusset decreases, and now I just have to do the foot. And since it's DK, I only have to do 25 rounds for the foot for it to fit my feet. I definitely think I'll be able to get these going or finished when I'm just waiting for my laundry to be done and after I'm done chatting with you all. But it is from Porter Wool Company, and I'm so excited because Porter Wool Company is going to be doing a trunk show at one of the yarn stores that I'm visiting today as part of the yarn crawl. And I actually got this at last year's yarn crawl, so it's cyclical, if you will. It brings us back. But the colorway is called Bear With Me. It is the merino nylon 4-ply, 463 yards. So super pleased. I know the dyer is super nice. I've seen her a couple times at like SoCal Stitches at the yarn crawl last year. So love her stuff, and I'm so pleased with these socks, and hopefully they will be done by the end of today. So maybe I'll be able to show those a little bit later. And also the reason I have not gotten a lot of progress on a couple of things. And I actually have a sweater going right now, but I just haven't felt like touching it for a bit. It is with single ply, and I realize I'm not a huge fan of single ply yarn, but I want to use up the yarn because it's a beautiful colorway. So I'm chugging along on that one. It's going to be fine. I'm not that worried. I don't have a set timeline for completing the sweater. But I have been obsessed with scrappy crochet blankets. So I've been working on a granny stripe blanket, and hopefully I will have been a genius enough and we'll put in a picture here for it. But I made a magic knot ball for it, and I finished the entire magic knot ball. So now I was like, well, how am I going to create more scraps? I could knit larger projects, but especially for socks, like I don't use the entire 100-gram skein, so that I'm still left with a significant amount of yarn. And I really want to use up all of a scrap when I'm adding it to scrappy blanket. So here's a solution: start more scrappy blankets. So I decided to start not one, but 2 scrappy blankets as my solution to making more scraps for my magic knot ball for my other scrappy blanket. So I currently have 3 scrappy blankets going right now, but I don't care. Ain't nobody the scrappy blanket police. So this one is in a bag that my dad made for me. Look at these cute little cartoon villains. And this one is more of my like cool colors. So my blues and grays, and I am doing a granny square blanket using Nitty Natty's free granny square pattern. And so I have a couple of these ready. I've already done a bunch, and these are basically scraps that I had like around 15 to 20 grams of, where like I could use them for a contrast heel toe cuff, not a problem. But what I'm doing is that I use it for to make a granny square, and then I actually have 2 magic knot balls going. One is going to be for me, for that granny stripe blanket, and the other is actually for my sister, because our next swap that we're doing is we are making the most giant magic knot ball that we can for the other person. Of course, we're racing to see who can get theirs bigger first, and we're going to swap those, and then we're both going to make the Bits and Bobs blanket, but I cannot remember exactly who the designer is. I apologize. but we have ordered the yarn to hold double with our Magic Knot Ball. So now we're just in a mad dash to race. And I think we're gonna start that blanket probably in like December, maybe October. I can't remember what we decided, but we'll figure that out later. So I'm creating scraps for both those Magic Knot Balls. So if I have a large scrap of like 20 grams, this uses probably 3 of those grams, maybe 4. And then it gives me enough to then split that scrap between the 2 Magic Knot Balls. So it feels like the appropriate amount of scrap is being used in different places. So I have just had a grand time making these babies. I do it so that there are at least 6 like rows, or there are 6 rows for my little scrappy granny square. And so for this blanket, I think I'm going to make it for our grandma. She is a big fan of like blues and these cool colors. So I want to make this for her, and I will hopefully have it done by Christmas. But if not, that's okay. I'll just give it to her at another time because it's a process. So I'm excited about that. And then I also want to make one for myself because I actually don't have a scrappy blanket. That's a quilt that my sister's mother-in-law made for me. So I don't have a scrappy blanket for my own house. And you know I love pink, the pink craft room. So I have started a pink one, and this is actually in a bag that my sister's mother-in-law made for me. And so I am doing all pink granny squares because I also ordered the, oh gosh, I'm dreaming of a pink Christmas, very pink, I can't remember what it's called, but the Suburban Stitcher Advent that is all pinks. So that Advent will be for December. And so I'm going to use that Advent to add to my pink blanket. And so but I wanted to get started, and there's only gonna be 24, and I want more granny squares than that. And y'all know I have a ton of pink scraps anyways. So I started that, and I have a couple of these super cute squares. Like this is from the Bumblebee Acres, the socks I just did, the Timeless Arrows. A couple of these are scraps I've just had. So same thing, granny square pattern from Nitty Natty. So I'm just so excited about this and have obsessively been making these granny squares. It feels like there's not a lot, but I promise if you combine the 2 blankets, it's been a lot. And if you've been watching for a while, you know it's event season for me and my work. So I have been pulling really long days at work. So it's nice to come home. The granny square is super mindless for me, and I've just really been enjoying that. All right, so I have acquired a couple of things since you've last seen, and we're gonna acquire some stuff today because it is yarn call day. But I wanna share some of the things that I've gotten. One of these things is a little present that I got for myself, mostly because I was enticed by Hypnotic Yarn's spring cleaning sale, which I do believe she still has some things up. So definitely go check that out. It's a lot of like past Yarnables that she has extras from. So if you aren't subscribed to the Yarnable box, then that's something like you could still tap into those items, which I think is super cool. So I got one, and it showed up on the day of like my largest event of the year, and I was just exhausted. I had actually rolled my ankle at the event, so I was in some pain, and I got home and there was my yarn, and I was like, yes, the world and universe has smiled upon us. So I can't remember what month this was. Hopefully she wrote it on there. I don't know. It's called Life is Gouda, and it's one of the past Yarnable subscription months, and I decided to get I got the whole box basically, so the whole leftover box. So it comes with this super fun yarn, which is called Life is Gouda, which I think is perfect probably for socks for my mom because she loves browns, and it's a whole cheese theme. So look at this amazing, super cute cheese stitch marker or progress keeper from Monster Knits. Love that. And then it also comes with this cheese knife set where it says, I can't trust people who don't like cheese. I mean, I get it if you're lactose intolerant, but like still a big fan of cheese. And so these are just so cute. I'm afraid these are all gonna fall out when I lift them up, but c'est la vie. Oh no, they're hooked in there. So aren't these so cute? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So I'm going to have to host some folks for a like charcuterie night so that I can use my new cheese knives, but this was such a treat. So I'm so pleased about that. I have made a mess already of my space. And then I did get my own Yarnable subscription for the month of April. So I am a subscriber to the Yarnable box. It has been so fun because I have been getting DK. Oh, that Life is Gouda yarn is also DK. And I got another DK for April and I'm obsessed with this colorway. But let me show you all the goodies first. So it always comes in such beautiful packaging. So it comes with this carrot cake toffee, which I think is so cute. I will be giving this to my sister because I am allergic to nuts and it does have hazelnuts in it. So I also needed to do this whole video so that I could bring this up for my sister when I go visit her. So I'm gonna put this aside, but that is so fun. It also comes with this very, very cute Progress Keeper. It's a little bunny. I love that. It's from Firefly Notes. So I think that's just so precious and it was perfect for like Easter socks. And then look at this cute bowl. I mean, who doesn't love a cute bowl? Am I right? You can put your notions in it, probably more stitch markers. So now that I have this new bowl is an excuse to get more stitch markers. That's what I learned from this experience. So love the goodies from this month. And then the yarn itself, gorgeous. So look at that. I love this purple that's coming through and those speckles. Amazing, amazing. And it is called Some Bunny Loves You. So we're going with the whole bunny theme. And it's again on her plush DK, which is 85/15 superwash merino nylon. So very squishy, delicious. Obsessed with this. And then I forgot that I ordered this and because it's been at the bottom of my like pile here of things to share with you all and I haven't gotten to use it yet. But I was just scrolling on Etsy as one does and I found this super cute yarn from Weird Sisters Wool Emporium. And if y'all haven't seen Wednesday on Netflix, I loved the show. So I have been wanting Wednesday themed or Wednesday inspired yarn and then I came across this one and I had to have it. So here is the Weird Sisters Emporium logo, which I think is so fun and I love this. Amazing. And then here is the yarn. Isn't that fun? It is on their Rory base, which is a DK, so 75/25 superwash merino nylon, and the colorway is called Spiderweb Window, which is a reference to the window in Wednesday in Eden's room at school. So I think this is so fun because you know I love this pink that came through. Look at that. That is hot and I love it. So I think this is so perfect. I'm so excited to use it. Maybe I'll save it for Halloween. Maybe I'll just use it right up. Who knows? But that's kind of an update on everything that I've gotten going on with my knitting right now. So I'm gonna get going on those DK socks while I'm finishing up my laundry, and then I will take you along with me as we go through the Los Angeles County yarn crawl. So I hope you're enjoying this like combo update knitting yarn crawl vlog vibe. We're just into this whole combo video theme for now. So thanks for sticking with us and get excited for more yarny business coming up. All right, so for today's yarn crawl knit fit, I've got my like knitting community shirt from Neighborhood Fire Company. These super sick boyfriend jeans that I got from Target in the clearance section. And I am rocking my Dreams DK socks. These are the socks that my sister and I knit when we were supposed to go to Portland, Rose City Yarn Crawl. So I figured it would be like thematic that these could be yarn crawl socks, and I'm gonna go get my Birks on, get my knitting, and get going. So I will catch y'all soon. Alrighty, I am back from the yarn crawl, the Los Angeles County yarn crawl, and I was able to hit 4 stores within about 4.5 hours. So I'm gonna count that as a total win considering Los Angeles traffic. And so I am just so thrilled, and this was a fabulous day. I wanted to share kind of all the things that I got from each of the stores and my experience with it. So let's get to it. These are all of my pins from the different stores that I got from each of the ones that I went to. This is last year's yarn crawl bag. I didn't get the one for this year because I realized I keep collecting all these bags and like I don't necessarily need one from each year, and I can just put all of my pins onto this one that I got because this was, I believe, the 10th anniversary bag, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, because the sheeps are the 10. So I think this is perfect. I will just keep adding pins to my bag here. But the first yarn shop that I went to was the Altered Stitch in Valley Village. And I originally wasn't gonna go to this one because it's a little bit out of the way. It's kind of far, especially driving into morning traffic, weekly rush hour traffic. But then I saw the reel that they posted with the sneak peek of all their items. I'm like, oh, I absolutely need to go. And they did not disappoint, y'all. It was amazing. And one of my favorite things about the different stores on this yarn crawl, I think this is now my third or fourth time doing the LA yarn crawl, and they always, each shop does a theme and they like truly commit to the theme, and I can respect that. Like, it's one of my favorite things when there's a whole thematic element from some of their products, the things that they create for it, and it was just fabulous. So for the Altered Stitch, their theme this year was Be Stitched, like bewitched, which I think is so fun. They have this great program that they give to everyone where they talks about their different featured yarn, some of the trunk shows that you can expect to see them, the neighboring stores, other like kind of craft knickknack stores around them do discounts as well, which I think is super great. They talk about the patterns that they have, as well as some of the classes that they have upcoming. So I think this is always just done so well. Last year they did like a brunch theme, and it was like a brunch menu. So I think this is so cute. And they were selling shirts and bags and I believe pins with their logo on it. I didn't get one of those, but I think it's just so clever. But I did get a ton of things from the Altered Stitch. So one of the first things I want to show is I got these super cute Progress Keepers from Dragonfish Homemade Goods. Look at those, like, stop. They're also gigantic, which I think is hilarious, but I cannot get enough of these. I think they are so fun, perfect for summer. And then I wanted to get a shirt, and their Be Stitched shirts were V-necks, and V-necks just isn't particularly flattering on me. But then they had this other shirt that has a different kind of logo on it, which I think is so cute. It says yarn good to the last stitch, which I think is so cute. So I'm really excited that I got this one from them. Also super soft material, and you know I love a good yarn tee, so that I can add to my collection. And then one of their featured yarns was Hedgehog Fibers, and it was on sale, which I don't know. I have never seen Hedgehog Fibers on sale, so this was like a hot take, hot deal. So I was thrilled and spent a lot of time crouched around like the little arrangement of all the Hedgehog Fibers, deciding which one I wanted. And I had originally picked up a different one, but then I realized it was very similar to a different yarn I had picked out, which was the like Yarn Crawl exclusive, like special colorway. And so I wanted to get something a little different. And so this Hedgehog Fibers is called Potluck. And all of the yarns that they had for them were called Potluck because they were all one of a kind, different yarns from Hedgehog Fibers. So this is the one that I got, and I am obsessed with it. It has this beautiful, like soft lavender, and then these great blues, which kind of remind me of denim. So I'm obsessed. I think this is gonna be so fun to knit up. Definitely gonna do socks out of it because I did get DK weight, and we all know I'm on a DK kick. And then the exclusive that I got was dyed by Rebel Yarn Company. And this was to go with their Be Stitched theme. It's called Witch's Honor. So I think this is so fun, so fun. I might offer it to my sister if she wants to split with me, but if she doesn't, that's fine. I'll still be pleased with it. But I'm expanding and trying to go for some more bright colors. Obviously, like this one is a bit more muted, but they're different. And I'm very proud of myself because I tend to pick up the exact same yarn every time, which I think we all do. But you know, I like to mix it up a little bit. So that was Altered Stitch, and I was very fruitful there, but then I realized I blew like most of the budget at Altered Stitch, so I had to be a little bit more frugal at my other stops. After that, I went to Wild Fiber Studio in Santa Monica, and it was such a serene shop, really nice. I might have parked where I wasn't supposed to park, but it's fine. I didn't get a ticket, so we're just gonna roll with it and take it as a yarn crawl magic day where I didn't get tickets for parking in the wrong spot in Santa Monica. And so I picked up a skein of yarn, which is from Dream in Color. Look at that. It kind of reminds me of like hot chocolate, but it's these pink speckles for me, right? Totally sold me on those. It is their smooshy fingering weight sock, and the colorway is called Dune. So I'm very excited about this. This might be socks for my mom. I might split it again, decide what I want to do, but I just couldn't resist. It felt very warm and cozy, and I wanted to have it. So here I have it. All right, and then after that, I went to the Knitting Tree LA in Inglewood, and that's actually the yarn store that's closest to my job, so it's actually just down the street from my job. So I like to think of that as one of my local yarn stores because it is so close to me and I can't pop there after work. And so I was looking around and I realized that I only have one set of needles for my DK weight socks, and so I decided to get another set of US size 3 9-inch circulars for my DK socks. So I got those, and then I got a gift for Michaela, who, if you all don't know who Michaela is, check out, I believe the previous video, the pod vlog that Gabs and I did. Michaela is my best friend from home who has just started knitting, so I wanted to get her a little something. So I got her these really pretty scissors because everybody needs a good pair of snips in their yarn bags or project bags. And this one has a cute little seahorse on it. So hopefully she likes these. I will be seeing her next week when I go home. And then Porter Wool Company was having a trunk show. So I was really excited to get some more yarn since that's where I had gotten yarn from her last year. And that's actually the stock that I'm working on right now. And so I got something totally different. So I went again for the neons and was immediately drawn to this. Look at that. Amazing. It is electric and I am obsessed with it. And the color is actually Stitches West 2023. So I believe this was her show exclusive for Stitches West up in Sacramento, which happened, I believe, about a month and a half ago, which you can check out my sister's vlog about Stitches West. She and my dad went and I was not able to go. So I feel like I got to kind of go because I got this skein and I love how bright this is. I think this is going to be super fun socks. So I will set this aside in preparation for summer sock camp. All right. And then the final store that I went to was Alamitos Bay Yarn Company down here in like Alamitos Bay, kind of Long Beach area. I have actually been to all of the stores that I've mentioned before. And so that is really where I wanted to go today because I knew that each of the stores was gonna have stuff that I really liked and I wanted to do some damage. I wanted to do some shopping. So I went to Alamitos Bay and they were actually having a sale as well for their featured yarn, which was the Ba Yarn La Jolla. And I had picked up this yarn the last time I was there when I was kind of shopping around, and it's very me, but it's also a little bit more subtle for me. I usually go, I'm drawn to like a variegated. And so this is more of like a light speckle, but I think it's a very fun and very summery. I might save this because I think it would be good for like adding into a shawl or something. So look at this peachy goodness. It's called Tea Rose. And I think this is so fun. I love this beautiful coral. It could totally be socks, maybe it could be really pretty as like a patterned sock as well, but I'm just totally thrilled and I had a wonderful time on the yarn crawl and just the flexibility of getting to like go where I felt like going, driving around, spending as much or as little time in the shop as I wanted. I did miss, not getting to crawl with my sister or my dad, but this was a great experience. I am so glad that I was able to get at least some of the shops in on my day off today. But I need to get going on these socks so that I can finish these DK socks, because I really do need to actually pack for my trip. So I am going to focus on these socks. And if this is the last time I check in, thank you so much for watching.